Hey, what's up guys, it's Theo from Fino Concept. So today I'm going to show you how to create a wedding invitation card like this one in Adobe Photoshop. So let's just get started. Welcome to Fino Concept. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up our application. For this tutorial, I'm using Adobe Photoshop CC 2019 and I'll go ahead and create a new document. As always, I'm going to leave the width and height at 2K by 2K and just click on create. I do this because most posts are usually going to be on Instagram and WhatsApp pages of late, and they have to be in a square form, so that's why I'm going with this. Now, the most important part of this design is the image you are going to be using, so make sure that the image is as clear as possible and as beautiful as possible, else the design is going to look terrible. So I'll just open this up in Photoshop and I'll go ahead and just click on this lock icon right here. In case you are on an older version of Photoshop, you have to double click and create a new layer out of it. So I'll just grab the move tool using V on my keyboard and I'll move this over here like so. Now let's just resize this and make it much smaller. I think something about this big is just fine. So once I'm done, I'll just go to the shapes tool and grab the rectangle tool and I'll create a rectangle like so. It doesn't really matter because I'll be using the move tool to position it the way I want it. So I think about this big should be just fine. Now double click on the thumbnail to change the color and select let's select this red color from here, but let's make it a little bit darker. So I think somewhere around here should be just fine, or probably let's just go with orange, or let's just use the red. I think the red looks better. Alright, and I'll click on OK. So fit this to screen and let me close this up because I don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to the shapes tool one more time. This time around I'm grabbing the ellipse tool and I'll create an ellipse like this whilst holding down the shift key. Now once I do that, I'll double click and make sure that I select a white color for the ellipse, and I'll place that somewhere around here. In case you are not getting the perfect alignment at the center for the rectangle, just grab the rectangle or select the rectangle, Ctrl Alt to bring up your rulers, click and drag and position it just at the center like so. It's going to snap in. Then once you are done, just grab the ellipse and you'll be able to place it at the center like so. So before I started this tutorial, I already have my information in here, so I'll just copy them out and I'll grab the type tool using T on my keyboard, select a color I want. In this case I'll be using white. Then instead of just clicking one time and pasting it in, I'm actually going to click and drag and have a size like this so that everything I type is going to be based in here. Now the font I'm using is called Arial. It's pretty basic with any Photoshop out there. I'm using this because I don't want to use a premium font and you guys will have to download or whatever before you can even use this. So if I read this out, you know what, let's just hold down Ctrl and press A to make sure everything is selected. Go to window and click on character. Now I'm going to click on this all caps icon right here to change them to all caps. I think now this is looking okay. Now for their names, I'm just going to cut them out for a second and just reposition these somewhere around here. So you know what, let me just zoom in so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. So come join together with their families, then their names are going to pop. So I'll start with the name of the gentleman, which is Edwin. Then I'll place it somewhere around here. This time around I'm going to change the font. You know what, let's just set this to non-caps for this, and the font I'm going to be using is called the Edwardian. I'm sure I'm getting the pronunciation wrong, but who cares. And in case you just want script, you can just type in script, then I'll just go through whichever of the scripts I have in here. So whichever looks nice to me, I'll probably be using that one instead. I think this looks pretty sick, so I think I'll just stick with brush script for now and increase the size obviously to about let's try 48, and I'll place it here. Now again the same thing, I'm just going to type in the name of the lady and place that somewhere around here. And the last thing will be the ampersand sign, the end sign, and I'll place it somewhere around here. I'll make that one a little bit smaller, so probably 24 points should be just fine. Now let's zoom out and see what we are having so far. Okay, so this is looking neat already. I think I'll rather reduce the size to about 36 for both of these and reposition them to a place which I think I'm much comfortable with. So somewhere around here should be just fine. Now I don't want this text to be so overwhelming, so I'll highlight everything and change them to 12 points. Now I'll be making minor adjustments to this as we move on, so I'll just be showing you as and when I do that. So request the pleasure of your company at their marriage on Saturday. So here is where the date comes in. I'm actually going to remove Saturday from there because if you check, you probably see that it is Saturday, and I'll just type in dates like so. The next thing, I'll just leave about 2 lines and type in time, and the last thing is going to be the location, so I'll probably set it to something like this for that as well. So if I go ahead and stretch this out, this is what we have so far. Now I'm going to highlight the whole of this and try to place it at the top like so, and probably once I do that, I'll be able to move this also to the top. Okay, so this is looking quite neat already. We'll be working with this circle in a moment, just hang in there for me. Alright, so let's highlight these information. So the first one is going to be date. I'm going to change the font to 14, a font size of 14, and I'm going to make it the bold version. I'm going to do the exact same thing for the time and the exact same thing for the location. Now once I've done these, let's just zoom in a little bit. I'll grab the rectangle tool. I'll create a rectangle around this like so. Make sure that that rectangle is beneath the text, else it is going to show on top. Then I'll turn down the fill to 0, so basically there's no fill color, and I'll just create a stroke around it. So go to FX and click on stroke. You know what, I think that's actually too long, so what I'll do is I'll just click on stroke here, and I'll select a white color from here, select fill and set it to none, and I'll probably set the stroke to about 5 pixels. So let's go ahead and create it and see how it is looking like. I think 5 is too much, so I'll probably reduce it to about 3, and I'll just create the rectangle like so. Now this is okay. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate using Ctrl J, grab the move tool using V on my keyboard, and I'll place this here as well. Ctrl J one more time, and I'll place this here as well. Now holding down the Shift and Alt key, or just the Alt key in case you're on a newer version of Photoshop, I can create something like this. So basically this is looking pretty nice. I still think I can reduce the size of the whole of these texts, so I'll probably just change them to 10 because they look so overwhelming for me. Now because I have done those, I'll have to actually alter the shape and the position of the rectangles, so I'm just going to be doing that right now. So basically that's it. I'll bring back the fill of this. So you know what, let's set it to solid color. And the reason why we created this circle, let me bring all of these down, is because we'll be putting the names on top. So grabbing the names, I'll hit Ctrl J to duplicate, and I'll place them on top like so. Now you can see because the text is white and the circle is also white, so I'll just double click on the names, and I'll select this solid color I'm using at the moment, double click and do the exact same thing for this, and do the exact same thing for that. So what I'm going to do is just reposition everything I have here. So the name is going to come to the top, this is also going to follow somewhere around here, and the exact same thing is going to be here as well. Now you can also just change the size of the circle in case you want. I think this is looking pretty neat for me. So basically that is how to create the let me just take this out. So we are done. As always, the PSD template is going to be linked below, so be sure to check it out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theo for Concepts, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.